to you.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. So this is my first video on here. I've never posted anything like this before, so I figured, you know what, maybe I'll introduce myself before we get started. So yeah, I'm 22 years old. I'm the CEO of a company called Fit Fairy Consulting Inc., which is a company that helps women lose weight and have a weight loss transformation like I did. So 2 years ago, I started my weight loss journey, and I lost 115 pounds. And I also ran 4 marathons in 341 days. So yeah, my life just basically changed a lot in a very short amount of time. And yeah, I'm just starting to talk more about it and share more from my journey now that I passed the initial part of it. I wanted to post this video because if anyone watching this video sees it and they're like, you know what, wow, something similar really happened to me. Now that I see that it's happened to somebody else, it's making me feel less alone, maybe making it feel less impossible to overcome, then that makes it so worth it to me. So yeah, I'm gonna get started with the story time. Here we go. Okay, when I first started running, I was 2 months into my weight loss journey, and I picked it up because I was like, I need something to focus on that isn't the number on the scale. I wanted something that would encourage me to get my body moving, because this happened over the summer. And my father is a marathon runner. He ran 8 marathons. He doesn't run them anymore, but he still runs all the time. And I always wanted to do that as well. I wanted to run. It looked fun. It looked like something that I might enjoy. So I decided that was what I was going to try. I actually remember exactly the moment I decided to do this, because as soon as I was like, you know what, I want to run, I told myself I need to go online and find a virtual 5K that I could sign up for to motivate me to work towards a goal. So I found one. This was at the beginning of August. So I found one that was happening right at the end of August. It was about 3 weeks away. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to sign up. I did. And then I needed to find a training plan. So again, I went online and I found a 3-week training plan for beginners for running a 5K. And I started doing that. But the first run for me was so hard. So I started my weight loss journey at 265 pounds. That was my heaviest weight. And I'm pretty short. I'm about 5'2" on a good day. So that weight on my body and my frame, it was very excess. And I already wasn't exercising. I barely left the house, to be honest with you. I wasn't walking. I wasn't doing anything. So that 265 pounds on my body made it harder for me to move. It limited me. It held me down. So running is a sport that is very intense on your body. So for me, that was very challenging, just running at first. And my first run, oh my goodness, I didn't think I was going to be able to finish it because it was so painful in my legs. Like there was so much burning in my calves. I wasn't wearing the proper shoes, but regardless, it was very painful with or without those impractical running shoes that I was wearing. It was hard. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, you know, it's okay if you have to walk home. This is your first run. And I kept thinking, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And then I was telling myself, okay, I'm going to start walking after I take this last stride. I don't know how to say that. After I take this last stride, I'm going to start walking. But something magical kind of happened. I don't know how this happened. I don't know why, but I just kept running. I didn't start walking. I actually was able to finish the run. And I got home and I had this sense like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be able to do this. It makes me really emotional talking about it, because I never thought I was going to be able to finish the run. And then when I ran, I didn't think I was going to be able to finish the 5K. And when I did that, I didn't think I was going to be able to do the marathon. And it's just very powerful to think that you're not going to be able to do something and then do it. It really, really does a lot for your mind. It does a lot for your soul. It does a lot for everything. So sorry, it makes me really emotional. This was about a week in, and I remember put on my shoes, my new running shoes that were better, and I had my music on. I left the house. I started running. I was feeling okay, and towards the end of the run, I have about a kilometer left. I still remember where I was standing. I remember what song I was listening to. It was Part of Me by Katy Perry. And I'm just minding my own business running. And all of a sudden I see this guy and he just starts clapping. And he's like, woo, keep going. And my head just started spinning. I was like, it was an out-of-body experience. I know it doesn't sound so dramatic when I'm saying it and explaining how it happened, but to me, this was like the biggest slap in the face, and it just felt terrible because I had already felt very insecure about my weight and my size and just my place in the world, right? I wasn't okay with who I was. I wasn't okay with how I looked. I wasn't comfortable by any means with anything about myself. So I had gotten very used to just being home and not leaving the house. I just wore pajamas all the time, right? I was very, very, very recluse. I hadn't accepted myself at that point. It was still very early in my journey. So, I mean, to me, it makes complete sense why I reacted this way. But basically, I started crying. I continued running. But when I got home, I was just devastated. Like it just really, 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 really affected me because it made me feel like I was sticking out like a sore thumb, or I didn't belong in the running community. Up to that point, I was like, you know what? I'm a runner. I'm feeling good. My confidence was going up in terms of being able to move my body and being able to do these workouts. And so when I was running and that guy started clapping for me, I knew that wasn't normal. I knew that wasn't something that people do for each other on the street because I'd seen runners on the street running. I've never seen somebody clapping for them or giving them applause. So it just made me feel so uncomfortable and so embarrassed because I was like, I'm not a part of this community. This guy sees me running and he sees that I'm big and he's like, good for her, she's running. And it just made me feel so upset and I don't know, I just felt terrible. And so this is a month and a half later. So I'm training for my marathon because after I finished the 5K, I was like, I need to do a marathon now. So I was training for that. And again, I wasn't at my lowest. This was very early into my weight loss journey still, right? A month and a half later, it's not that much time. And I remember I was running on the road and I was running up a hill and this guy, he was running down the hill, so in the opposite direction of me. And he started clapping. And I was just like, oh man, not again. I was just so upset because I had felt like, oh, I'm making so much progress. I ran my first 5K. I'm training for this marathon. I'm a real runner now. I had also lost some weight at that point, and I was like, I'm looking good. I feel like I've lost weight. I feel better about myself. My confidence in my appearance started to pick up. I was making more friends. I was being more social. I was getting out of the house. And then the same thing happened. So it made me feel like, maybe I don't look that different. Maybe I'm not that much better of a runner. Maybe I can't do this because it made me feel again like I was that girl from before. I know people seeing this, they might not understand. Might be thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with what happened. But for me, it was just the fact that it made me feel like I was standing out for my size because I was running. So it made me feel like out of place, like I didn't belong, and it made me feel shame for my size. Even though I'm sure that wasn't their intention. They thought they were doing something nice and taking time out of their day to make somebody else feel better about themselves, but honestly, it just made me feel terrible. But that's just me. So yes, if this has helped anybody, or if anyone can relate to this or something similar to this, please let me know because it would make me feel less alone too. So yeah, I hope that helped and thank you for watching.